Amid the noise of machines and the incessant buzz of notifications, the voice that insists that life cannot be reduced to rushing, accumulation, and exhaustion. Today, more than in your time, the world is a stage of illusions. Haste has become virtue, consumption has become identity, and superficiality has become wisdom. We are mired in a desert covered in mirages. We believe we are in abundance, but our souls languish with thirst. We believe we are free, but we remain chained to screens, clocks, and systems that buy our hours, our days, and even our ability to feel. Society has become a grand spectacle where everyone rushes, but no one knows where. Everyone talks, but no one hears each other. Everyone lives, but few exist. And that is why your absence weighs so heavily, Thoreau. We have never been so in need of what you preached, the simple life rooted in the essential, capable of giving meaning even to silence. Today, simplicity is treated as failure and contemplation as a waste of time. The modern worker is a willing prisoner, smiling amidst the chains and still grateful for them. He carries the weight of haste as a medal, exhaustion as a trophy, lack of time as status. And when he dares to stop, when he dares to breathe, the world calls him lazy, unproductive, alienated. The system does not tolerate pause because it knows that if we stopped running, we would see the abyss it makes us cross blindfolded. Come back, Thoreau, because we drown in data and lose wisdom. We surround ourselves with things and lose essence. We conquer the world and lose our soul. Come back to remind us that wealth lies not in excess, but in sufficiency. That greatness lies not in haste, but in depth. That happiness lies not in conquest, but in presence. Modern man has forgotten that breathing is more important than producing, that existence is more sacred than profit, that contemplation is more revolutionary than running. We need you, not as a myth of the past, but as a prophet of the present. We need someone who dares before the maddened crowd to shout what no one else dares. The simple life is the true life. Not to escape the world, but to finally inhabit it. Not to deny time, but to fill it with meaning. Not to return to the past, but to reclaim what has always been essential. The peace born of silence, the greatness born of simplicity, the freedom born of no. Come back, Thoreau, because without your courage to stop, the whole world will die running. We live trapped in an invisible gear, but one that tightens our veins like iron chains. This gear feeds on haste, devours our energy, steals our time like a thief who breaks into a house in broad daylight, and no one dares fight back. Routine is no longer a natural rhythm, but a whip that dictates our every step. Work has ceased to be sustenance and has become religion, where we sacrifice our health and our affections on the altar of success. And rest, once a celebration of life, has been transformed into a sin. It's practically forbidden to stop. Those who breathe slowly are accused of laziness. Those who contemplate are seen as useless. Those who refuse to keep pace with the crowd are treated as dangerous rebels. We've created a society that associates dignity with tiredness, that measures value by exhaustion, and that calls exhaustion a virtue. Today, rushing has become an identity. "I don't have time" is repeated like a badge of honor, as if being a slave to one's schedule were proof of importance. Exhaustion has become a trophy. Those who sleep little, those who work too much, those who overextend themselves are celebrated as examples of discipline, when in reality they are merely victims smiling at their own prison. Anxiety has become the official language of our time, so common that it no longer causes surprise. It is treated as a natural part of modern life, when in fact it is the clearest symptom that we have distanced ourselves from the essence of what it means to exist. Modern man no longer watches the sunrise. He doesn't even allow himself this simple ancient act of witnessing life renew itself each morning. His eyes, still sleepy, don't seek the light that announces a new day, but the cold screen of his cell phone, where news, demands, and illusions begin to scream even before his first coffee. He doesn't hear the birdsong, but the incessant notifications, which sound like electronic shackles chaining him to the endless stream of soulless information. He doesn't feel the wind on his face, doesn't notice the dancing of the trees, doesn't notice the silence that rests amidst the sounds of nature. What he feels is only the suffocating weight of debts, commitments, and obligations. Thoreau, come back, because we are slowly dying without realizing it. Come back, because we have traded life for survival and still dare to call it evolution. Come back because we have transformed freedom into myth, abundance into slavery, nature into a forgotten landscape. We celebrate we defend the system that destroys us as if it was sacred, and we do so tooth and nail, as if there were no other way out. We need your cry and your silence. We need your courage to remind us that a simple life is not a luxury, but an urgent necessity. Because if we don't learn to stop, we will be swallowed by the never-ending machine. Come back, because the world has become a market and human beings have become commodities. Every minute needs to be sold. Every talent needs to be monetized. Every rest needs to be justified. We live in an era where even sleep is treated as a waste of time, where even solitude needs to be filled with noise, where even friendship has been reduced to digital likes. Nature has been transformed into a backdrop for photos, not a refuge for the soul. Forests are destroyed, rivers are poisoned, the sky is choked with smoke and they call it progress. But what good is the most advanced technology if the man who created it no longer knows how to live without it? What good is excess comfort if we become unable to bear silence? Thoreau, live again, because your cry against haste, against conformity, against slavery disguised as normality has never been more relevant. You said that true life lies in the essential, that we don't need excess to live, that luxury is a trap. Today we are prisoners of this trap. We buy what we don't need, with money we don't have, to impress people who don't care. The race for status has turned us into actors in a play without a script, into stand-ins for the rich, into beggars for attention. We forget that true abundance lies in the freedom to live with little, in the simplicity of walking in nature, in the courage to say no to the invisible chains of consumption. We live in an age of haste, but also an age of emptiness. People rush, but don't know where. They work, but don't know why. They produce, but don't taste what they create. They feed on illusions packaged in propaganda, wear social masks, and accumulate objects as if they were amulets against their own dissatisfaction. But nothing is enough. Nothing fulfills, nothing heals. And the more we run, the more the emptiness devours us. The body sickens, the mind collapses, the soul falls silent. It's the price of a life without pauses, of a race without a destination, of a path that never leads anywhere. Thoreau, live again, because our generation has forgotten what it means to simply exist. The modern world has transformed idleness into crime, pause into weakness, and silence into an unbearable void. We live surrounded by noise, tasks, and commitments, but inside we are increasingly deserted. No one knows what it's like to surrender to a sunset without taking a photo anymore. No one allows themselves to walk unhurriedly, to let the wind dictate the direction, and to relieve the mind of the weight of so many invented urgencies. We've become incapable of being with ourselves without resorting to a screen, a notification, some distraction. We confuse movement with progress, rushing with achievement, exhaustion with victory. It's a cruel logic that pushes us to sacrifice what's most precious to us, the present, in exchange for a promise of a future that never arrives. Come back, Thoreau, because we need someone who shouts, even if silently, that life isn't this machine that devours us. We need someone who reminds us that resting isn't laziness, it's a vital necessity, as sacred as breathing. That contemplation isn't a waste of time, it's a reconnection with the essence of existence. That stopping isn't failure, it's refusing to be swept away by the current of a river that only leads to death in life. The world has convinced us that only those who produce endlessly, who are always busy, who never say no to the clock, are valuable. But this belief is a sentence of exhaustion, a path of no return to alienation and a loss of meaning. Come back, because we're getting used to the absurd. We work harder than ever, and yet we feel poorer, needier, more incomplete. We rush all the time, but we never get anywhere. We believe we're building something, but deep down, we're just being consumed by the system we swore to dominate. Rest has become a sin. Simplicity has become a luxury. Contemplation has become waste. We need someone to look us in the eye and say, with the courage we no longer possess, life isn't this. Life isn't a packed schedule, a bulging wallet, a relentless timer. Life isn't what we've been sold. Accumulation, status, visibility. Life is now. It's unhurried conversation, spontaneous laughter, love without distractions. It's the silence that heals, the sun that warms, the breeze that touches the skin. It's simplicity that gives meaning, not excess that suffocates. Thoreau come back to live in us because we have forgotten the most basic lesson. We were not born to be cogs, but to be human. Come back because you need to. We must relearn the art of being alive. Humanity dresses its vanity in the cloak of technology, displaying machines, algorithms, and inventions like trophies. In a race with no finish line, we create gadgets that promise to save minutes, but those minutes are never lived. They are immediately mortgaged for the next task, the next obligation, the next anxiety. We gain speed, but lose direction. We achieve material abundance, but lose spiritual abundance. We celebrate efficiency as if it were a supreme virtue, but efficiency doesn't know how to love, doesn't know how to contemplate, doesn't know how to rest. The result is a life that falls apart into fragments, connected to the entire world, but disconnected from ourselves. We invent networks to unite us, but they are fragile threads, made of distractions and comparisons. We have never been so surrounded by voices, and paradoxically never been so alone. Silence, which was once a temple, has become uncomfortable. Pausing, which was once healing, has become waste. Simplicity, which was once wisdom, has become shame. We rush as if time were our enemy, as if stopping meant dying, when in truth it is precisely in pausing that life flourishes. Haste doesn't prolong life. It only consumes it at a faster rate. The cruel paradox is that we strive to live longer, but we no longer know how to live a single day to the fullest. And then, when we finally look back too late, we realize that what we sought most was always right before us. It wasn't in shopping malls, on screens, in offices, in unattainable goals. It was in the birdsong we ignored. In the sunset we didn't see because we were replying to messages. In the hug we refused because there were more urgent things to do. It was in the earth, in the water, in the wind, in the simplicity we ridiculed in the name of an illusory grandeur. But the tragic thing is that we've forgotten the way back. We no longer know how to be at peace without distractions. We no longer know how to sit in front of a tree without looking at the clock. We no longer know how to have a conversation without the mediation of a screen. We have become strangers in our own world, orphans of a wisdom we once had and let die. That is why we call for your return, Thoreau. We need someone to shake us up, to remind us that life is not about speed but about presence, to remind us that there is no future without roots, and that those roots are planted in simplicity. If we do not relearn the art of being alive, we will die before death. We will be anxious ghosts, running endlessly, accumulating without living, surrounded by everything and deprived of the essential. Come back, Thoreau, because we need someone to show us the obvious. Life is not conquered, life is lived. Henry David Thoreau, come back to life. Cry out against this world that idolizes haste, that worships consumption, that venerates work as if it were God, but forgets that the true meaning of life lies not in production, but in contemplation. Come back because we are suffocating. Come back because we are dying in life. Return, because the world needs to be reminded that true life doesn't fit into clocks, doesn't fit into numbers, doesn't fit into success stories. True life is simple, it's free, it's natural. And if we don't return to it, we will perish, not for lack of progress, but for too much of it.